Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the number one sports podcast on the entire planet. I'm your host, Drake Tharp. Welcome back to episode number 26, and that's a beautiful number. That is the number I wore in high school for football. Really brings me back, stepping on that turf, nothing like it. Speaking of the turf, we had a lot of news, trades, the quarterback carousel kind of going around the league in the last week or so. It seems to be right after I seem to post any sort of video, they just like to go haywire with the trades. So great timing. Thanks, guys. So we had a kind of quarterback carousel, guys hopping off teams, going to different ones, swaps all around. We kind of saw a quarterback carousel with the NFL draft over the last year with the Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson. Seems like Mac Jones. Seems like a lot of guys needed quarterbacks. We really didn't know where everyone was going to go. But here we are, free agency, and it seems like another carousel has taken place in the circus. I'm going to go through each quarterback destination. There was three big ones that happened. There's one still to come, kind of with the Baker Mayfield situation. But I'm going to go through the three with Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, and Deshaun Watson. I'm going to basically give my take on what it is for each team. Now, the Colts traded for Matt Ryan. Now, Matt Ryan has proven himself to be a stealthy quarterback. He has an MVP under his chip. He led the Falcons to a Super Bowl. He seems to be a guy that's been, not in the elite category, but kind of in the better than average category. Matt Ryan, he's 30, almost 35. He's a decent quarterback still. He threw 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions last year on a 67 completion percentage rate. It's a solid pickup for the Colts, but it's a bad look for the Colts at the same time. Ever since Andrew Luck retired, they've had 5 quarterbacks in the last 5 years. They can't find the franchise guy, it seems. They thought Carson Wentz. They went through Jacoby Brissett, Matt Ryan now. It's an odd way to build a franchise to continue to swap quarterbacks. Matt Ryan is definitely an upgrade from Carson Wentz, though, but to have 5 different quarterbacks in 5 years for the Indianapolis Colts, giving up a third-round pick for a guy who's 35, it doesn't look too good. They seem to have everything else figured out with the run game. Jonathan Taylor became, kind of a wild card guy to build around over last season. You didn't really think he was going to be a top 2 running back, but he was. Receiving core is solid. Michael Pittman Jr., T.Y. Hilton still is there. They have solid guys on the receiving core. Great defense. It seems like they had one of the best defenses in the league toward the midseason. They, besides quarterback, they have it all built around. They have solid head coaching, who is actually very high on Carson Wentz before, the trade happened. If you watch the Hard Knock series on HBO, you know that Frank Reich was very high on Carson Wentz. Now, to trade for Matt Ryan, who's 35, you got to be thinking, Colts, is this a bridge quarterback situation for them? It's honestly a bad look. They need to find the franchise guy. I don't like the trade for them. Yeah, especially, a third-round pick, kind of valuable. You can find some good talent in the third round. I don't like it for the Colts at all. But now the Falcons, Marcus Mariota. This is something we haven't seen Marcus Mariota play in starting role in about. He's had a few roles on the Raiders, a few games, but other than that, Marcus Mariota, we haven't seen him since his Titans stint. Marcus Mariota, he's a good RPO guy. He knows how to use his legs. He's got a good medium pass. He's not the best deep ball thrower, but something for the Falcons. It's another bridge. They know what they're doing. At least they gave up Matt Ryan, who's arguably the best player in Falcons history. They did it at the right time. They gave him up. Obviously using Mariota as a bridge quarterback situation, which I like. I think they might go after someone like Malik Willis in the draft, someone who's more mobile, someone to build around. It might not be this year, but they're definitely using Mariota as a bridge situation. So I think Atlanta, as bad as their team was, I think they know what they're doing here. Mariota, he was pretty solid for the Titans. He didn't have insane passing yard stats, close to 4,000. I think he was close, maybe in that 3,000 mark. Didn't throw a lot of passing touchdowns, but didn't throw a lot of interceptions. So he's a good conservative guy to have as a bridge quarterback. Carson Wentz, traded from the Colts, now in Washington. I think this is good for Washington. Similar situation as the Colts, just different coaching. Washington hasn't gone through 5 quarterbacks in 5 years. Obviously an upgrade from Taylor Heineke. They're similar in the fact that they have a good, solid defense built around them. good receiving core, good running back like Gibson, like Jonathan Taylor. I like this for Washington. I really don't see this as a bridge situation as long as Wentz produces and they make maybe a wild card spot. Washington was one of my wild card teams picked before the 2021 season started. I thought, they made a good strong run at the Buccaneers in the playoffs. I like this pickup for them. Heineke, obviously not the greatest quarterback. It's an upgrade. It's something they needed. They have a lot of things good going for them defensively and skill positions wise. They have a good, solid coaching staff with Ron Rivera, et cetera, et cetera. I like this pickup for them. And last but not least, Deshaun Watson. If you remember last episode, we talked about Deshaun Watson's best trade destinations. Number 3 on the list was the Browns. I said, this would work out amazingly for them, and I stick by that. This is an amazing trade for the Browns. If RPOs, run pass option plays like zone reads, etc., worked in Houston with Duke Johnson and Carlos Hyde, this offense on paper should thrive with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. This makes them a contender right away. If they were contending with Baker Mayfield in the divisional round against the Chiefs, nearly beating them 2 years ago, they took a step back last year, but now they have the guy that they want to lean on. They know there's no uncertainty there at quarterback. There's no uncertainty on future. Obviously, the locker room's a lot different. You got Amari Cooper now, starting receiver role. A great two-back combo still with Chubb and Hunt. This offense should definitely thrive. Deshaun Watson is a playmaker, and if he was doing it in Houston with guys like Brandon Cooks, Hopkins was there, but there's a lot better talent now that he's built around rather than stuck in Houston post-Hopkins trade. I mean, he really didn't have a ton of skill players after, DeAndre Hopkins left in Houston. So Deshaun Watson, he's got skill players all around him. There's no reason he should fail on paper. Now that Deshaun Watson's in the AFC, we're going to take a look at our top 5 AFC quarterbacks and assist the list with Drizzy. Anywho. So we're going to start at number 5 here. I got Justin Herbert. Lamar Jackson shadowing 5th place. He's at 6. I got Justin Herbert at 5th place. Justin Herbert, very solid guy. Obviously shown he's one of the best accurate ball throwers in the league. He's the franchise guy for the Chargers. I like him a lot. Number 4, I got Watson himself. Watson in Cleveland now. I still think he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. He can basically do it all. Number 3, Russell Wilson, obviously, in Denver. I think, same situation. They had everything figured out except the quarterback situation. They have great skill players. Now they got Wilson. Number 2, Josh Allen, obviously. Josh Allen, I saw a list from, I forget the analyst's name on ESPN. He had Josh Allen at number 4. That's ridiculous. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are the 2 most elite quarterbacks in the AFC. They've met in the AFC title game 2 years ago and in a divisional round last year. They're putting their teams over the hump. A lot of these quarterbacks aren't doing that right now. Herbert, missed the playoffs. So, it's only been 2 years, but, these guys have already put their teams over the hump and, putting up insane stats, making the most insane throws you can see. So, number 2, Allen. I got number 1, Mahomes. Those are my top 5 quarterbacks in the AFC. Speaking of AFC quarterbacks, the quarterback still in the Browns, sitting in the backup role currently, which he probably it's killing his ego, Baker Mayfield. He's on the move, we know it, but suitors. It's kind of hard to find one right now, apparently. Where will Baker go? Question mark? I don't know. I got my top 3 spots for Baker right now. Apparently a lot of teams aren't, crazy about him, but here's my 3 best suitors for him. Number 3, I got the Texans. I don't think Baker is going to be enthralled by the fact of going to Houston, but this gives a building ground for a developing passing offense. We saw a few games where Davis Mills put up around 300 yards. That's really solid for a 3rd-round pick. If Baker was there, I'm guessing he would do a decent job there. Another thing is he fits the Southern culture. Oklahoma guy. Everybody down south loves Baker Mayfield, except folks from Texas. But he fits the culture. He's only 26 years old, so he could give the Texans a building ground for the future. If a team wants to rebuild around Baker and he's down for that, I think it's perfect. Pittsburgh was a destination spot for Baker before they signed Mitchell Trubisky because they seem to have it all. The Super Bowl caliber defense, the skill players. All they needed was a quarterback to get over that hump. They made the wild card round I'm guessing Baker Mayfield would put him over 500 for sure. But number 3, I got the Texans. Number 2, I got the Falcons. Kind of the same situation as the Texans. Marcus Mariota is not a franchise guy. They'll roll with him this year, but I think the Falcons should have gone after Baker. They will find more weapons and develop defense over the years. The most mock drafts we're seeing right now for the NFL first round, Falcons taking a receiver. Baker Mayfield, another same situation with Houston. They could develop in Atlanta, get more weapons, young. He's only 26. I have to think that a team that's going to trade for Baker Mayfield is going to want him as their franchise guy. That's the only situation I see. So, have him there for 10 years. Number 1, I got the Seahawks. This is the highest favorite for sure. I think it's a no-brainer here. Baker Mayfield, if you watch him play, he plays a lot like Russell Wilson. He's a good scrambler, good, sidearm thrower, kind of crossbody thrower. While they are rebuilding, they have the weapons for Baker. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Those are 2 very good weapons. This would give Seattle a franchise guy. Obviously, Drew Lock isn't going to be that guy for them. If they want to go the bridge quarterback situation, they can go Drew Lock. But if they want their franchise guy now, and which I doubt they think they can contend for a Super Bowl right now, but Baker Mayfield's sitting right there. Put a package together. With suitors falling out, I think they should wait on it. But if Seattle wants to go for Baker, he's right there. It would give him their franchise guy. He plays a lot like Russell Wilson. I don't know how Pete Carroll and Baker Mayfield would get along, but I'm guessing, it wouldn't be the worst thing. It would be better than Drew Lock, that's for sure. Those are my top 3 landing spots for Baker Mayfield. He's obviously on the move. We will see where he goes, but those are my 3: Texans, Falcons, and Seahawks. Let's talk about Von Miller's free agency contract with the Buffalo Bills, shall we? 6 years, it's over $100 million. 6 years at 32 years old, are you kidding me? What the hell are they thinking? They are obviously desperate for a pass rusher. After that divisional round against Patrick Mahomes, they got to think, if we just had a little pressure on them in those last 19 seconds, they would have gotten a field goal down the stretch and won in overtime. That's probably what they're thinking. But Von Miller, you're thinking to yourself, he's going to get paid $30 million at age 38 in 6 years. I'll be 25. I might have a child by then. And Von Miller's still going to be on the Bills making $30 million. I don't like the contract at all. I just wanted to bring that up. I saw the contract details. It was like quarterback money. At 32 years old, outside linebackers don't stop developing after like 29, and then they've peaked. Look at Khalil Mack. Look at DeMarcus Ware. And now Von Miller. That is the worst contract signing I've seen in a long time. He's on the Bills. He'll provide solid pass rush. But for 6 years, that's going to hurt their cap bad. I literally have the note here, Von Miller, and then a pinpoint, what the hell? I was just going to freestyle this, and I am, because I didn't know what I was going to say about it. But I don't understand the signing at all. I understand the signing, but not for the cash. I'll tell you that. Von Miller, 6 years, $120 million at age 32. Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I don't know. With the finale of the show, it's kind of a short one. Not too many groundbreaking sports news besides NFL free agency. We're going to talk about the NBA regular season, and, honestly, it sucks right now. Just watching games, I'm getting just a negative vibe from just, the overall morale of the players, morale of the fans. I feel like this season, the NBA season is being drug out for way too long. We're seeing guys drop 60, and while it's historical, this goes to show the defense isn't there. They're not playing passionate. They're not playing like it's a playoff game, obviously. It's the regular season. But when you have 82 regular season games, players are going to play half-ass all the time. 50%, 25%. They're going to play at those levels. Load management, too. You buy tickets to see your favorite team, and say Kawhi Leonard's sitting for the Clippers. It sucks. And that becomes announced 2 days before. Also, the fans have been very just negative and terrible towards players as of recent. The fans have made it suck. 2 days ago, I saw a video of Yusuf Nurkic. He was suited up, kind of in street clothes, kind of dress wear. Kid was speaking about his dead grandmother, and he rightfully smacked the phone out of the kid's hand. And, I hear fans cheer. As much as I've been critical on Russell Westbrook, I would never scream at him at a game and tell him he sucks. Like fans are being very negative. It sucks. I'm just getting overall negative feeling when just anything about the NBA regular season. It's just not the best right now. NBA players' morale is low, besides, those on top right now. The effort isn't there. 25-50% is what players going. The defense is pitiful. Load management. The 82 games is too long. The fans are negative Nancy's and douchebags, etc., etc. My petition starts now to lower the regular season to at least 52 games. It would make the games more meaningful. Playing back-to-back games a night is just stupid. I feel like, and we'll see guys, that whole 10-day contract dealio, where guys were getting signed 10-day contracts like none other. Like, it really takes off the difficulty of, people have said the NBA skill gap is the greatest gap in sports. Like, any college player will get smoked by an NBA player, obviously. But, those 10-day contracts kind of made it seem like, we'll take anyone off the G League roster because of COVID right now. And if we didn't have those 82 games a season, we wouldn't see those 10-day contracts being handed out like that. I think it hurt the NBA for sure. There's overall just a negative morale all around the league. Yeah. Points I stated before, but that is my petition. 52 games. How about that number? It's even. Won't make people's OCD go crazy. I like it. I think lowering the games by 30 would make it more meaningful, would make players play harder. There wouldn't be too much load management, et cetera, et cetera. I just see it, and it's always something some negative connotation on any headline regarding the NBA. Fan chirps at Westbrook, tells him he sucks. Yusuf Nurkic throws fans' phone across arena. Draymond Green gets tech because referee. And the whole referee situation, the league has become soft. You can't really do anything without getting a tech. Like hard defense or just expressing your opinion at this point. It's a soap opera. It's a soap opera at this point. And I don't know. I don't know if lowering the game count would really do anything, but it would definitely make, prime time mean something. Like prime time NBA games. I don't know. Well, that's my final take of the show. Kind of a slow sports day besides, free agency that's happened. But anyway, thanks for watching episode number 26. I'm trying to keep these shorter, like these 15-minute stints. I don't want to keep you around all day. I'll give my opinions. I'm not going to drag shit out, etc. I've said etc. probably like 80 times this episode. 80 times. Anywho, I will see you guys next Wednesday. Thank you for watching, and have a good week, everybody. Peace.